I think Ron Paul is a wonderful man, and I agree with him on a lot of stances. I've always been a bit of a constitutionalist myself, and I believe in limited government and liberty and rule of law and all those wonderful things in America, self-governance, that kind of thing.
Well, that's wonderful. Again, while we've got you here, where would you like to see our republic going? I mean, have you heard them talk on the news about forming this world government?
World government, by that do you mean giving the government more power?
Well, you've got Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of the UN, Herman von Rompuy, the head of the EU, the outgoing Prime Minister of England, Gordon Brown, Al Gore. The heads of the G20 are calling for a global government to set worldwide taxes. And I was just asking if you were concerned about that.
Well, I'm definitely concerned about that. I've always been for limited government and being able to be your own keeper and having self-government and, making something of yourself and not relying too much on the government for that. And so I'm definitely against big government in the world.
Well, I tell you, I wish you were Miss USA, somebody to really represent our country. But you are representing our country.
Thank you.
And people just appreciate that you didn't sell out your values. I mean, you had to know, though, when he asked the question did it run through your head, well, if I give the politically correct answer, he's going to like that? Or are you just such a patriot that there wasn't even a question?
Well, truthfully, in that moment in time, you don't have time to think. You just go with what you know.
Exactly.
And, I know who I am. I know what I believe and why I believe it. And with that said, it was easy for me to answer. I didn't have to think twice about it because that's who I am and that's how I was raised. And, I stood firm in that.
Well, that's why people admire you, not just for your beauty or, the electric presence, but the mind that powers it all. So exciting. Miss Oklahoma, Morgan Elizabeth Woolard is our guest. We're now going to go to a few phone calls. Let's talk to Eric in Oklahoma, your home state. You're on with Miss Oklahoma.
Hi, Alex. It's very good to talk to you. It's been years since I've talked to you, actually. My cousin was Miss America, Chantel Smith, in '87, and she is just a beautiful girl. And Morgan, you're just another one. You just represent Oklahoma wonderfully, and I'm very, very proud of you. And that's basically all I had to say. Just proud to see Oklahoma girls just doing so well.
Thank you, sir, very much. I appreciate that. Miss USA has never had an Oklahoma Miss USA before, so I was hoping to make history there. I was only a few short points off, but I was so proud to represent our state.
Well, that's right. You lost the pageant, but you kept your integrity, and that's what matters at the end of the day, and you'll be rewarded. God will open bigger doors for you because you didn't sell out. That's what's always happened with me. I've been fired, you name it, before for not compromising, and it just every time I do the right thing, it just doors open up everywhere. 1-800-259-9231. Specific questions for our guests. Chris in Indiana, you're on the air with Miss Oklahoma.
Thank you, Megan, Alex, for taking my call. First, your answer was outstanding.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, a beauty pageant is beyond just beauty and body. It's mind and soul. And you scored 10s on all of them. So thank you. Thank you for being a good patriot.
Absolutely. Proud to be an American.
21 in college. What is your opinion, or what are you seeing as far as the increased police state and the loss, the erosion of our rights?
Yeah, what do you think of the Patriot Act being used against U.S. citizens? They've got legislation introduced where citizens can be secretly arrested. We're seeing in universities, I don't know about Oklahoma, but more and more censorship of libertarian or conservative political viewpoints. Thanks for the call, Chris. Let's get her take on that question.
I'm sorry, what exactly are you asking me?
Well, I mean, what do you think about the loss of liberty, the erosion of the Bill of Rights, warrantless wiretapping? Are you concerned about that?
Well, I think that kind of goes along with what we were speaking about earlier. It's giving the government too much power. And, I don't want our freedoms to be taken away. I don't want our liberty to be taken away. I think those things is exactly what makes America America. And just being able to govern yourself and, not having, like I said, the government controlling too many aspects of our lives, I definitely think there's a point where they need to step back and give us our freedoms again.
Absolutely, and we've got to step up and take them back.
Absolutely.
Did you hear of the debate with Lou Dobbs and others about the North American Union, SPP, NAFTA superhighways, all these toll roads going in that the money then goes to foreign corporations in Spain and Europe? A, have you heard of that? B, what's your take on it?
I've not heard too much about that, to be honest, especially if it's recent. Being in Vegas for Miss USA for 3 weeks, we kind of live in a fishbowl. And so I haven't been able to be watching the news as often as I normally do. But as far as foreign nations go, I do think we need to become less dependent on them.
Let's take a call from Mike in New Orleans. You're on the air with the runner-up in Miss USA who said she's for states' rights. Go ahead.
It's an honor. Miss Woolard, I want to first congratulate your parents on raising a woman that is an inspiration in every manner, in every way possible.
Thank you, sir. That is
you should be, the Oklahoma should be proud, America should be proud, and you will be number one in our hearts and our minds forever.
Yeah, I want to say this. I've got 2 great little blonde-haired daughters, and I hope they grow up to be as, passionate and informed about our country, and I know they will be, as Miss Oklahoma. Go ahead.
I have no doubt, Alex, that your children are going to be firecrackers. Miss Woolard, do you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, sir. I have 2 older sisters.
Wonderful. I'm sorry, that's even more reason to congratulate your parents. And I would ask this, how do you feel about dating older men?
Okay, all right. I appreciate the call. Let me throw this out there, though. Are you looking forward to, after you've gotten into your career, getting hitched and having some kids?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a big believer in family, and I'm looking forward to that day. I don't know when that day will be, but I definitely am someone who wants to have a wonderful family and children and, just great American family.
Well, it's been great having you here, and we appreciate your courage. Did we ever find that clip, guys, of Carrie Prejean, however you pronounce it? We didn't find that because I heard it all over the news last year whenever she, you could probably just YouTube Carrie Prejean's gay marriage comment. You're quite a person because you're out there in the spotlight as a model and somebody who wanted to win, who was going to win until that question came up. The evidence is clear. But then now, clearly, I think you were cheated, but you want to be a good sport, and you're saying, no, I don't want to get attention by going out and screaming bloody murder.
Correct. You're exactly right.
Are you critical of the lady who did milk it somewhat?
Well, for me, I think I wouldn't say critical. Definitely not of her answer. This is America, and in the First Amendment, we have freedom of speech, and so she had every right to speak her beliefs. And so I back her up fully with that in mind. But I do feel that she kind of took it and ran with it and kind of overexposed herself to the media, I guess.
And may have put a bad taste in people's mouth?
Yeah, maybe so.
So your problem isn't what she said.
Oh, not at all.
It's the fact that she did say, I was cheated.
Exactly. I think you should be humble in your loss and, just realize that everything happens for a reason, and to, as much as it stings sometimes, just to know that greater things are in store, and just look forward to what God has next for your life.
Absolutely. It's all in God's hands. Well, we appreciate you joining us. We've got about a minute left. Anything else that you forgot to add?
I don't think so. Just, how grateful I am for the overwhelming support I've received. Everyone has been absolutely incredible, not just from the state of Oklahoma, but my entire country, and even people all over the world just showered with love and support, and people backing me up from all over the place. And so I'm so grateful, and I really am just honored and humbled
Well, that is my final question. Going back, you hear on the video, the audio, and it sounded like 5, 6, 7 times the cheering that there was the booing. You could barely hear the booing, but you were there. I mean, was the cheering for you a lot more overwhelming than the booing?
Oh, without a doubt. I think it tripled the booing. As soon as I said I'm a firm believer in states' rights and I love that about my country, everyone just overflowed with, clapping and cheering.